Good evening and welcome to the campus of Western Washington University as the Vikings welcome in the Northwest Nazarene Nighthawks in this GNAC battle. The Vikings come in at 2-1 in conference play. The Nighthawks 1-2. Sean Wally alongside Ben Bagley tonight here on Vikings TV. And in the GNAC, Ben, you never know what can happen.
That's true. You never know what can happen. Northwest Nazarene here just broke their 4-game losing streak against Simon Fraser, one of the best teams in the GNAC this season. Western Washington just came off a win against rival Central Washington. So it's going to be an interesting game here to see which team can keep the momentum coming off their big wins.
Thursday night, the big rivalry game with Central Washington. The Western Washington Vikings were down 10-1 early, and you didn't know what was going to happen, but the Vikings rebounded with Trevor Jasinski leading the way. He had 20 points on the night.
Yeah, Trevor Jasinski this season, this is really his breakout season in my opinion. Him along with Logan Schilder, they're really the leaders of this team, the upperclassmen leading a couple of underclassmen. And so in that game, that was really, in my opinion, their statement game. They want this season to be their season, that they're the leaders, and they really showed it against Central Washington, coming back from an early deficit and leading them to a pretty convincing win.
You mentioned Logan Schilder, this 7-foot shot blocker. He leads the GNAC with 2 block shots per game.
Yeah.
Not only that, but he is moving up the charts all time in Western Washington block shot history.
He is, and he's doing it by his positioning. He's he's just very skillful in how he positions his body. It's not just when you're 7 feet tall, you don't just stand under the basket and put your hands up. You got to know when the drivers are coming, where the layups are coming from, where the shots are coming from. And you watch Logan in this game tonight, he's very, very skilled at knowing where to block the shots from.
A big game Thursday night from sophomore guard R.J. Seacrest, a double-double.
Yeah, R.J. is one of those players who he's very multifaceted. He's not just a scorer. He's not just a rebounds guy. He gets a lot of steals, a lot of blocks, a lot of hustle plays. And it was great to see him really do everything. We got some really great scorers and players like D'Angelo Minnis and Trevor Jasinski, and it's really, really helpful for the team when utility players like R.J. step up and perform all across the box score.
For the Nighthawks, you mentioned it's been a bit of a struggle this season starting off, but they've got a couple seniors that the Vikings need to watch out for. Adalberto Diaz and Adetunji down low.
Right, a pair of 6'7" forwards. They're both averaging about 6 rebounds a game, and they're very much hustle players. Diaz with about 2 steals, 2 blocks a game. Adetunji with about 4 blocks a game. So they're really going to be a handful for the Western Bigs. The Western Bigs really thrive at stretching the floor. They shoot a lot of shots outside of the paint. And so it'll be really interesting to see how these two 6'7" forwards for Northwest Nazarene defend the Western Bigs.
We've got a GNAC battle here in Bellingham. The Vikings and the Nighthawks coming up next here on Vikings TV.
Good evening, fans, and welcome to historic Carver Gymnasium for tonight's Great Northwest Athletic Conference game between our Western Washington University Vikings and the Northwest Nazarene Nighthawks. If fans will please rise and remove your hats as we honor America with playing of our national anthem by the Western Washington University Pep Band. And now, let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First, for the Northwest Nazarene Nighthawks, who enter tonight's game 4-4 overall, 1-2 in GNAC play. At guard, number 12, Sam Roth. At forward, number 14, Adalberto Diaz. At guard, number 15, George Reedy. At guard, number 30, Jaden Bazant. And out forward, number 33, Spider Adetunji. Now, Viking fans, are you ready? And now let's hear it for your Vikings starting five. At guard, a redshirt freshman out of Kentwood High School, D'Angelo Minnis. A guard forward combo and redshirt senior out of Concord, California, number 10, Cian Pablo Rojas. A 7-foot center out of Bellingham High School, number 15, Logan Schilder. A 6'7" sophomore out of Renton, number 22, Jalen Green. And a senior out of Camas, number 24, TJ Trevor Jasinski. The Vikings are coached by Tony Dominguez. He is assisted by David Dunham, Bob Hefstetter, Otavio Jude, and Director of Operations, Jonathan Kim. And Viking fans, be ready, be loud, make Carver Gym the home of the Vikings.
Welcome inside Carver Gym for this GNAC battle here on this Saturday evening. The Western Washington Vikings hosting the Northwest Nazarene Nighthawks. Sean Wally alongside Ben Bagley as we get set for this GNAC battle, Ben.
Yeah, school's almost back in session here at Western Washington University, so we got Carver Gym packed tonight. Students, fans alike, ready to see Western get back in the swing of GNAC play.
Schilder getting set to jump it for the Vikings. And Adetunji for the Nighthawks, and Schilder wins it to Minnis. Minnis, the Rocket, they call him here in Bellingham. TJ wide open for three, and that is a great way for the Vikings to start.
And I'm a big fan of this starting lineup for the Vikings. With Logan Schilder in the middle, the rest of the four guys are all guard types, and they can really spread the floor really well, as we just saw there with an opening TJ 3.
Look at TJ on defense there. Spider Adetunji getting the ball down low, and he is fouled. I believe that'll be on Schilder.
Yeah, that'll be another interesting matchup right there. Spider Adetunji on Logan Schilder. Logan has about 4 inches on him, but Spider's one of those players that is very, very active. So Logan has to stay as active as he does in order to defend him without fouling, as he did on that possession right there.
First minute of action here in Bellingham. Turnover. Sion Rojas comes away with it for the Vikings. Cross half court. Finds TJ. TJ into the paint. Outside to Jalen Green. And he is bumped and fouled. That nice little up fake.
Yeah,
pulled the defender into him, and that will be on George Righty, the redshirt freshman from Edmonds, Washington. Not far from here. D'Angelo Minnis outside to TJ. Trevor throwing the shot up, knowing he got fouled.
That's a very tricky thing that basketball players like to do, isn't it? Once they already know that they've been fouled, then throw the shot up afterwards. Didn't work for him that time, but sometimes they actually do get the shooting foul called. But this one will just be taken out on the sideline.
Jalen Green to inbound for the Vikings. Finds Minnis. Schilder just towers above everybody on the floor for the Nighthawks. Minnis for three. An air ball. Spider with the rebound. He's running the floor. The skip pass stolen by Rojas. Rojas stepped in the lane, and now he takes it to the rack. It's 5-0 Vikings.
A nice job by Sion Rojas. He's very, very active on defense. A lot of blocks, a lot of steals. He already has 2 so far in this game.
Ball out of bounds, or stepping out of bounds, is Jaden Bazant.
Look how fired up the Western bench got right there. He set that out of bounds right in front of the Western bench, and all the players on the bench and all the players on the floor and all the coaches got super, super amped right there. They're coming out with a lot of fire, this Western team. Every game they start off very, very strong. It's just a matter of continuing that strong start for the rest of the game.
TJ nailing another three. That's 2 threes for Jasinski tonight. 8-0 Vikings.
And that's a good way to keep the fire coming. Another three-pointer from Trevor Jasinski, an 8-0 lead early. Western's off to a hot start.
Bazant driving the lane. Shot is short. Rebounds to Rojas. Rojas picks up his dribble. He's got Spider on him. Outside. They go to TJ. Another three. That'd be 3. And he doesn't get that one. Rebound to the Nighthawks.
He doesn't get it, but another good look.
Roth in the corner. Nighthawks have yet to score. Driving the lane, moving without the basketball. Nice job there by Diaz. First points on the board for the Nighthawks, 8-2.
A really, really nice pass there from Jaden Bazant. He went around Logan Schilder to avoid the dangerous shot blocker.
Rojas, left-hand dribble, in the corner. Jalen Green for 3. It's good, 11-2 Vikings.
And what do we just talk about with this Western starting 5 being so deadly? Every single player out here can shoot the 3 and shoot it very, very well. Western shoots about 39.5% from 3 on the year. Obviously a miss there from Northwest Nazarene, and they're already off to such a fast start. That'll be crucial for them in this game.
Diaz, the air ball from 3. They get the, I guess you can call it a rebound, but look at Jalen Green getting on WECU Court. Ahead to Rojas, attacking the rack. He hits the floor. No foul called. Bucket good. 13-2. Vikings feeling it here tonight.
It's very, very hard to defend Western Washington when they go this fast. They've already gotten 3 or 4 steals, and every single time they're immediately in transition. Their lineup is so tall, so athletic, so difficult to defend, and they're already off to a very fast start here in Bellingham.
less carbon footprint. That's why at MBB we're working to make energy that's cleaner and better. We're producing cleaner burning natural gas.
I mean, I don't want to talk as little as possible.
And wherever your transportation, we have advanced tools for a better commute. And we're developing ultra-fast charging capabilities. And we see possibilities everywhere, so we can all keep advancing.
Back here in Bellingham, Washington, Sean Wally alongside Ben Bagley. 13-2. Your eyes are not deceiving you. The Vikings all over the Nighthawks early on in this first half.
Yeah, and early on in this first half, the three ball has really been working for Western. For the Nighthawks, they shoot under 30% from three on the year, but they're allowing over 36% from their opponents from three on the year. It'll be very, very important for them in this game to begin to figure out how to limit Western's three-point opportunities.
Nighthawks need some points, and that's one way to get them is get the Vikings to foul. Foul called on D'Angelo Minnis of Western Washington.
Yeah, D'Angelo likes to play very, very aggressive defense. He likes to be right in the pocket of the person he's defending. That means pretty much right on his hip. Sometimes it can result in fouls, as it did there, but a lot of times it results in steals. He actually leads this Western team in steals. He's going to be trying to get plenty tonight by being right in that defender's pocket.
Just one basket for the Nighthawks, looking for a second. Not going to happen. Schilder the rebounds.
And look
After the miss by Jalen Fox.
I was going to say, Schilder is just so much taller than the people that are trying to get rebounds over him. He's such a good asset to have when he's such a strong rebounder at 7 feet tall.
Foul will be called on Ezekiel Alley, the junior from Tucson, Arizona. .57 remaining here, first half in Bellingham. Vikings up 13-2 over the Nighthawks on Vikings TV.
Campus to Campus is a beautiful reciprocal relationship that's really centered on how to support young students to see themselves in a different kind of way and see the possibilities for their future.
Allie was one of our first mentors. A lot of people have believed in me along the way, Allie being one of them. She's always inspired me. Now I'm at Western, actually going to college.
It's changing lives for the young students that we work with, and it's changing lives for the mentors who work with them.
A good look at some of the fans here inside Carver Gym on WECU Court. Not a bad evening to be spent, especially when the home team's up 13-2. Sean Wally alongside Ben Bagley here on Vikings TV. 15:57 left, first half.
Yeah, it's fun watching this Western team when they're up this big, but they get this lead by playing fast and by playing very, very long. And what I mean by that is that their starting lineup is tall at every position, except for, of course, D'Angelo Minnis, the point guard. But everybody else, they're usually taller than the person that's defending them, and that length just allows them to move as the defenders don't want them to.
The 7-footer dropping the triple. It's 16-2 Vikings.
And look at that length right there. Logan Schilder, the 7-footer, is a great three-point shooter. I'm sure his defender, Spider Adetunji, did not want him shooting that three. Takes it anyways, nails it as he usually does. And Western's lead grows.
Battle for the basketball. Nighthawks cannot find their second bucket. Ball out of bounds, last touched by Northwest Nazarene. Viking basketball, they're up 16-2.
Yeah, Northwest Nazarene so far has been plagued by turnovers. They really need to just slow the game down and play within their offense and stop trying to force things. Otherwise, this lead is just going to grow and grow.
Jalen Green finding the loose ball, lays it up and in. It's 18-2 Vikings as we approach 5 minutes gone by, first half. Alley off the screen, into the lane, left-hand dribble. The floater is good. Second bucket for the Nighthawks. It's 18-4 Vikings. Sion Rojas. They're working around to TJ. TJ driving the lane, tries to find Minnis. Minnis does take the basketball back to TJ in the corner, goes baseline, loses it out of bounds. Nighthawk ball, 14:35 left first half.
And that drive ended in a turnover, but it was interesting. At one point, Trevor Jasinski drove the ball, and every single other player on Western were at the three-point line. It just goes to show that this team is always looking to attack the three very, very aggressively, and they usually do it with great success.
Schilder and Minnis take a break for the Vikings. R.J. Seacrest and Cam Rutherford into the game for Western Washington. Alley to Bazant. Bazant attacking the rack. What a move. The right-hander off window is good, 18-6. You know, if you remember back in March when the GNAC tournament was here inside Carver Gym, this NNU team was pretty darn good, and Bazant was one of the reasons why.
Yeah, and he's already been showing really great athleticism this one, a great athletic drive to the basket right there, and before he had a crafty pass around the body of Logan Schilder, so he'll be one to watch going forward.
Green the miss. Back come the Nighthawks. Alley attacking the rack. Instead, throws it outside. Spider, loose ball to Bazant. Spider has it now. His pass intercepted by TJ. TJ doesn't have numbers, but he finds Cam to the rack, who hammers it home.
And look at the swagger that Trevor Jasinski is playing with right now. He put that behind the back, nearly backwards pass, and he looked straight at his bench to say, yeah, you just saw what happened. Vikings are already up 20-6 and playing with great swagger right now.
Three doesn't fall for Alley. Rebound to Rutherford. Back come the Vikings. It's 26, 13-13 left, first half. Rojas to Rutherford. Rutherford, left-hand dribble in the lane, going up strong, can't get it to go. Rebound to the Nighthawks. Back comes Bazant. Under the basket, that's Diaz with the layup, 28 Vikings.
And that was finally a good possession from the Nighthawks. They've really struggled with turnovers, making a lot of ill-advised passes. There was a nice, simple possession to get them into the score column.
Sion Rojas bumped, fouled, counted. Excuse me. Will they count it? Yes, they will. Sion Rojas. Bucket is good. It's 22-8. He'll head to the line at a three-point attempt.
Rojas heading to the line, shooting just 54% from the line this year. Western as a team is shooting about 77%, looking to up that number as the season progresses.
Rojas lets it fly. Off the right side of the rim. Back come the Nighthawks. Down 22-8. Bazant, the skip pass to Fox. Fox off the screen. Top to Jaden Bazant. Bazant, the long jumper. They say it's a three. It's off the rim. Back come the Vikings. Rojas.
And they just get down the court so quickly, already in attack mode.
Rojas to Rutherford. Cross court. TJ open in the corner. The triple is short. 8 minutes gone by, first half. Bazant. Finds Ferguson for three. Doesn't go. Battle for the basketball. Rojas trying to pick it up and does. Finds Seacrest. Jalen Green to TJ in the corner. Three is short. Still 22-8. We've been 22-8 for a while, and the Nighthawks throw it away.
Well, Trevor Jasinski's only made a couple of them, but he's certainly not afraid to shoot the three-pointer.
11:29 left. First half. Vikings 22, Nighthawks 8. As you take a look at TJ with the steal.
That backwards pass and the slam by Cam Rutherford. So much fun, so much athleticism. Vikings up 14.
Quality food brings people together, so we continue to provide the best and freshest food available. Every day, we reach out, finding the best producers right here in our backyard. At Hagen, we partner with passionate local producers, farmers, and fishers to find you the best sustainable, fresh, and organic food. Hagen, Northwest Fresh since 1933.
Back here in Bellingham, Washington, Sean Wally alongside Ben Bagley and our entire Vikings TV crew. Thank you for tuning in here on this Saturday evening. 11:29 left, first half. All Vikings, 22-8.
Right now, Trevor Jasinski and Sion Rojas with 6 points each. They're doing it in very different ways. Jasinski, 2 for 5 from three-point right now. Sion Rojas, 3 for 3, all in the paint.
Out of the timeout, Viking basketball, RJ Seacrest across half court. Seacrest attacking the rack. Instead, he passes to Minnis. Open for 3 in the corner, and it's good.
This Western team always has a shooter open somewhere on the three-point line. Great job by the really athletic RJ Seacrest as he was up in the air finding D'Angelo Minnis in the corner, another deadly three-point shooter, and knocking down the shot.
Nighthawks just 8 points in the half, looking to add to it. Bazant, top of the key. Jalen Green on defense. Bazant has it now. Leif Anderson in the game. Bazant, the floater is short. Green the rebounds. Back come the Vikings. Rutherford, double teamed. It's an interesting double team, and it works. Bazant comes away with the loose ball. Jaden Bazant. Out of New Zealand. Baseline jumper is short by Reedy.
Reedy is the leading scorer on the Nighthawks, and no points yet in this game.
Halfway through this first half, top of the key, that's Cam Rutherford dropping the triple. And it's been that kind of night for the Vikings, 28-8.
And Cam Rutherford, not your conventional big, shooting over 46% from three-point this season. He knocks in another one there.
Bazant with it for the Nighthawks. And he is bumped by Cam Rutherford. Rutherford will be hit with the foul.
Here's an interesting statistic. As we take the ball out of the sideline, get some subs in here. Plus minus is a stat in basketball. It basically tallies up all of the statistically relevant things. So points, rebounds, steals, blocks, and it takes it plus if it's a good stat and minus if it's a bad stat, like a missed shot or a turnover or whatnot. All of Western's players in the game right now have a positive plus minus. All of Northwest Nazarene's players right now have a negative plus minus. So not a lot going right offensively for the Nighthawks.
Well, when you only have 8 points halfway through the first half, that's not going to get the job done on many nights. There's TJ getting his hand on the ball, knocking the pass down. Minnis recovers. Minnis into the lane, bump, no foul called, outside to Anderson. 9 minutes left, first half. Nice touch pass down low to Schilder. Schilder is fouled, and he will head to the line for 2 shots.
And Logan maybe got a little bit lucky there. He went up with kind of an odd angle, like back to the basket, back to the hoop. Luckily for him, though, fouled, and he'll head to the line.
Foul on the Nighthawks. Diaz, that is his second.
Logan nails that one. He's shooting just 43% from the line. We'll definitely be looking to up that number as well. Just one of the few things that he doesn't perform at the highest level at. But I'm sure coaches will take it when he's dunking and blocking all the balls that come near him.
Ali and Adetunji return for the Nighthawks. You may have been able to hear Nighthawks head coach Paul Rush barking orders to his team. Paul Rush telling me pregame that his team is very, very young. And they had a few changes they weren't necessarily planning on coming into the season. 30-10 as Spider Adetunji with the bucket. Vikings by 20. Now we have a carry on Minnis.
And a carry on Minnis. That's kind of a bailout for the Nighthawks as Logan Schilder had the ball ready to fire for that three. Western now, that's just their second turnover of the game compared to Northwest Nazarene's 8.
Nighthawks just 10 points, down by 20. Nowhere to go because Mount Schilder's in the way. Bazant in the lane, the jumper from 14 off the rim. Battle for the basketball. TJ has it. Back come the Vikings. 8 minutes left, first half. TJ lost the ball for a minute, and they're calling a kick ball on Trevor. Interesting that it's not a side out. It's turnover back to the Nighthawks. 7:58 remaining first half. All Vikings 30-10 over the Nighthawks here on Vikings TV.
Being a champion takes more than skill, more than endless drills, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the heart to give it your all, the agility to thrive from any angle, and the relentless drive to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create, and the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Back here inside Carver Gym, Sean Wally alongside Ben Bagley here on Vikings TV. Thanks for tuning in on this Saturday evening. This GNAC battle, Western Washington against Northwest Nazarene. All Vikings 30-10.
Yeah, and going back to that plus-minus stat that we mentioned earlier, as more players have entered the game for Northwest Nazarene and more players have entered the game for Western, so far every single player for the Nighthawks is negative in their plus-minus, and every single player is positive for the Vikings. That just goes to show that up and down the box score, the 5 players on the court for Western are simply outplaying the Nighthawks. In the first quarter.
You take a
Go
look,
for it.
excuse me, Ben, you take a look at the Vikings with 30 points. They're shooting 64.7% here in the first 12 minutes.
Yeah, they are getting good looks and converting on them.
Nighthawks out of the timeout. That's Bazant with the basketball. Skip pass to Spider. Spider now attacking the rack. Shot off the rim. Rojas the rebound. It's been that kind of night for the Nighthawks early on. Jasinski. Working on Bazant. Picks up his dribble. Outside to Minnis. The redshirt freshman. 5 to shoot for the Vikings. Minnis is going to have to throw it up, and he does. Heaves it, are you kidding me? Minnis, the bank is open on a Saturday night, 33-10.
Hey, it really is just that kind of a night for the Vikings, isn't it?
And now an offensive foul on the Nighthawks. All the Vikings, all smiles.
Yeah, and they certainly have a lot to be smiling about tonight.
6.
Let's look back at D'Angelo Minnis 3 with 3-2-1 on the clock. He did the pump fake to get his defender in the air and then just threw it up. I'm sure he will call it skill, but that backboard was certainly pretty friendly to him on that one.
You saw the 0 on the shot clock as that ball went off the backboard and in. Minnis with it now, he's double teamed. They swing it to Rojas. Rojas going baseline, and he is fouled.
It looks like the Nighthawks are starting to play a 2-3 zone here, probably trying to prevent this 3-point barrage from the Vikings.
Foul on Jaden Bazant, his second. 7th team foul. Just got to look there at Paul Rush, head coach of Northwest Nazarene. Coach Rush in his 3rd year. Rojas, free throw short. Rebound to Alley.
Rojas now 0 for 2 for 3 free throws on the night.
Bazant loses the handle. Look at Seacrest diving on the floor, but he hits the sideline out of bounds. It'll be Nighthawk basketball.
Now it's unlucky there for RJ Seacrest, but just another showing of how much the Vikings are simply out-hustling the Nighthawks. Every loose ball, every bad pass, the Vikings are all over it, and it's clearly translating the scoreboard here.
You see Schilder and Seacrest take a seat. Rutherford and Green back in the game for Western Washington. Fox with it for the Nighthawks. Reedy in the lane, off window, gets it to fall. It's 33-12.
Those are the first points for Reedy. He's their leading scorer with 14.5 points per game. First time he got the ball in the basket in this one.
Menace, a three. Off back iron, rebound to the Nighthawks. They attack the rack, they throw it outside. Alley, top of the key for three, and it's good.
There you go, really nice ball movement there by the Nighthawks. Making that extra pass to find the open three. That's what they've been lacking so far in the first half. And all of a sudden, they're beginning to very slowly cut this deficit.
33-15 Vikings, 5:40 left first half. Jalen Green from the baseline gets it to fall, 35-15, Vikings by 20.
Yeah, and when a team can make those mid-range shots, especially when they make shots in the paint well and make shots from the three-point line well, it really just wears down a defense. What do you got? What can you do? You stop them from driving, stop them shooting three, and still pull up right there, and Jalen Green sinks to mid-range.
Sam Roth for three, can't get it to fall. Rojas the rebound. Viking head coach Tony Dominguez directing his team. Giving orders. Rojas to Rutherford. Rutherford thought about the three. Now he takes it. It's short. Jalen Green. Outside Rojas. He fires from three. 38-15 Vikings.
I wonder how many times they're going to say it tonight, but once again, this team not afraid to let it fly from three. And why not? They're that good at making that shot.
Spider with it, top of the key. Sam Roth. Now Fox, back to Roth. Roth in the lane, he is fouled. I believe the foul will be on the floor. Cam Rutherford hit with the foul.
Fouled on that one. And one of the things that's been difficult for the Nighthawks in this game has just been to find open shots. Western, every player on the floor is doing such a good job of just staying right with the man he's defending. And anywhere they go, there's just been no openings. Whether it's been Logan in there defending the paint, or whether it's been players like Jalen Green and D'Angelo Minnis defending that perimeter really well, there's just been no wiggle room at all for these Nighthawks tonight.
Fox with it. Sam Roth outside. Swing it to Fox. He's open for three. Good rotation, and it's good. 38-18. Vikings by 20.
And Jalen Fox leads these Nighthawks in three-point percentage, just about 38% from the three-point range.
Rutherford attacking the rack. Nobody stops him, and he hammers it home. 40-18 Vikings.
Nobody stops him. How could you stop him? Going in there with reckless abandon to throw that one down.
The floater is good by Ezekiel Alley. It's 40-20. 3:42 remaining first half. Ball poked away from Rojas. He gets it back. Swing it to Green. Green in the lane. Foul finally called. Head coach Tony Dominguez of the Vikings wanted the foul called earlier. Foul on Sam Roth of Northwest Nazarene. As you take a look at Cam Rutherford doing harm to the rim here in Bellingham.
This simple banana peel represents a bold idea, a way to create energy from household trash. It not only saves about 80% in carbon emissions, it helps reduce landfill waste. That's why BP is partnering with a California company, Fulcrum Bioenergy, to turn garbage into jet fuel, because we can't let any good ideas go to waste. At BP, we see possibilities everywhere to help the world keep advancing.
Back here in Bellingham, Washington, as you take a look at Jalen Green. Open in the corner, hitting the three. Green doing good things, finding the loose ball and laying it up and in. Green has 7 on the night for the Vikings as he heads to the free throw line. Sean Wally alongside Ben Bagley, our entire Vikings TV crew. All Vikings so far 40-20 with 3:30 left, first half.
Yeah, and closing out this first half is going to be very, very important for both teams. Even though there's a 20-point deficit, these last 3 minutes and 30 seconds can really define a lot for the second half. Western can either go on a big run here and pretty much put it out of reach, or if Northwest Nazarene really battles hard, it makes it an 11-point game by halftime. That really changes the whole dynamic. So both teams here, very, very important, closing out the half.
Green rattles the free throw. It's 42-20. He hits them both. Alley with it for the Nighthawks. Working on Green. Roth, the right-hand dribble. Nowhere to go. Finds Ferguson. Alley has it now. Alley left-hand dribble, attacking the lane, but Rutherford says, I don't think so.
Rutherford and Jasinski, both such great shot disruptors. We saw another one there.
Wow. How was there no foul called? And that's what Tony Dominguez wants to know, head coach of the Vikings right now. Yes, the basketball did go off the shot clock, which technically is not in play. Hence the turnovers to the Nighthawks. But Trevor was bumped, hit the deck here on WECU Court.
The refs must have seen it as some sort of 50-50 play. Both players going in the air, both gliding into each other. In their eyes, a no call. Play on.
Fox. Good ball movement by the Nighthawks. Fox has it. The jumper from inside the three-point line is short. And we have a foul on the floor on the Nighthawks. 2:32 left, first half.
Let's just take a moment here and just realize what Logan Schilder is doing in this game. His defensive presence, simply just being in the paint, has caused the Nighthawks to take a lot of, instead of just regular lay-ins, a lot of acrobatic lay-ins, a lot of thrown up the ball kind of funky lay-ins, a lot of had to kick it out lay-ins. And because of that, the perimeter defenders for Western are having a much easier time defending every aspect of their offense. So Logan Schilder, simply by being there and being the great defensive presence as he is really throwing a wrench in the Nighthawks' plans.
Nice to see Tuck Inigunberg back in a basketball uniform. He hasn't played in a few games, battling some injuries, but apparently those are hopefully behind him, and he is playing here this evening, his first point of the night.
And it's just his 6th game on the season, and Tucker is such a lethal three-point shooter. As we talked about all game, the Western is full of players who can shoot three ball. He's a crucial one coming off the bench.
44-20, 2 minutes, 30 seconds left. First half. Nighthawks needing some points in a hurry. Nice move in the lane, getting bumped and fouled is George Reedy. He will head to the line for 2 shots. Schilder hit with the foul.
And Schilder hit with the foul, but also notice just how he disrupted that shot. Reedy, instead of just taking a clean lane to the rim, had to Euro step around Schilder, ended up drawing a foul, but still, no easy buckets when number 15 is by the rim.
It's the 2nd foul on Schilder. 5th team foul for the Vikings, so foul is not a problem. With 2:19 left, first half. Reedy missed the first, 2nd free throw off the right side of the rim into the hands of Jalen Green.
Reedy now shooting under 50% from the line this season.
It's incredible. Seacrest picks up his dribble, finds Rutherford. Outside to Minnis. 2 minutes left, first half here in Bellingham. Minnis has it stolen away. Back come the Nighthawks. Reedy attacking the rack, and he gets it to fall. Jalen Green couldn't swipe it. It's 44-22. Vikings 1:35 left, first half. Anderson wide open for three, rims out. Back come the Nighthawks. Sam Roth across half court. To Bazant. Bazant left-hand dribble in the lane. Outside, they go to Reedy. And he throws it to the Western bench.
Definitely a miscommunication there, but there's been a lot of miscommunications on offense today for Northwest Nazarene, and it's not necessarily their fault. This Western defense just plays so aggressively and with so much energy, it's really hard to do anything in that kind of environment.
You see Spider back in the game for the Nighthawks as we approach the final minute of half number one. RJ Seacrest down low to Jalen Green. And Green is bumped and fouled. Green, the leading scorer on the night. He has 9 points, and he is heading to the free throw line.
As Jalen Green heads to the line, his improvement from last year has been really key in this Western offense. He's up to about 13 points a game. He has 20 blocks on the year, 12 steals. His ability to become a really isolation player. He doesn't need to have the extra pass in order to make the shot. He can really do it himself. And that's been very, very complimentary to this Western offense. In the past, it's really only been Trevor Jasinski who's been really good at that ISO game. But Jalen Green's ability to make his own shots has really opened up the floor for Western offense this year.
Green out of Renton, Washington hits both free throws. It's 46-22. Final 50 seconds, first half here in Bellingham. Reedy attacking the right side of the lane, and he is tied up. Nice job by RJ Seacrest.
And that is a typical RJ Seacrest thing to do for the jump ball, I believe it was called. He's such a hustle player. All the blocks, all the steals, all the taking the charges, all the grabbing the ball. That's such an RJ Seacrest play. Forced a jump ball there.
Bazant, the fadeaway is good. 46-24. Inside 30 seconds left, first half. Bryce Knox into the game for Western Washington.
Western very likely just going to hold on here for almost the final shot of the half.
About a 2.5 second differential between game and shot clock. Minnis working on Bazant. Now the Nighthawks switch on defense. Minnis attacking the right side of the lane, and he is called for traveling with 6.8 seconds left.
Must have just been one too many pump fakes for Minnis there. A foot probably dragged. And it's his first turnover of the game.
Bazant going straight to the hoop, and he is bumped and fouled with 1.2 left.
And that was a curious layup by Bazant there. He kind of threw the ball up. I think he was aiming more to draw a foul than to actually make that shot there, which is a valid strategy. Try and foul out or try and draw more fouls on the other team in order to claw back in this game. Regardless, you can pick up the points at the line.
Bazant with 4 points. Make it 5. 46-25 the score. Sam Roth returns for the Nighthawks for the final 1.2 seconds. The Western band getting into it. Second free throw is missed. And that is how our half will end. All Western Washington in the first 20 minutes. The Vikings lead 46-25 over the Nighthawks from Northwest Nazarene. Halftime here in Bellingham. We'll be back with second half action after this on Vikings TV.
It's important that what I do as a job is something that I find meaningful. I ended up applying to the cybersecurity program at Western. The aspects of the program that really stand out to me is the hands-on experience.
Being able to work interdisciplinary and bring cybersecurity to marine science, bring it to communications, bring it to everything, is what really makes it interesting.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
Thank you for the Wheeler Woods Dance Contest. Our winners in the take home the Woods Gift Coffee Card. Thank you to the Woods, everyone's favorite coffee in town, for being a proud sponsor of Vikings Contest.
Back here in Bellingham, Washington, as we get set for second half action between the Western Washington Vikings, who are hosting the Northwest Nazarene Nighthawks. All Vikings first half, 46-25 the score. Sean Wally, Ben Bagley here with you on Vikings TV as you take a look at the stats.
Yeah, just look at those stats. Look at that field goal percentage and three-point percentage. Western shooting much better than Northwest Nazarene from three-point line, 53% to 25%. Also Northwest Nazarene with 10 turnovers. And look at those Western assists with 12 assists. These stats just go to show that Western is just moving the ball well, finding open shots, and being super, super aggressive and powerful, for lack of a better word, on defense. Very... what's the word I'm looking for there? They glide to the ball, if you could say. They're like a magnet to the ball. They're always around it, always right in the defender's pocket. They're making it difficult for Northwest Nazarene to really do anything offensively.
As you see some of the highlights from half number one, the first 20 minutes that from start to finish was all Western Washington, and they're up 21.
Yeah, Trevor Jasinski got off to a quick start, making some threes. He has 6 points, 2 for 5 from three-point land. Trevor Jasinski, just the leader of this offense. Everybody's shooting well. They're passing the ball well. And so far with a 21-point lead, the things they're doing are working well, and things Northwest Nazarene are doing are not working too well.
Head coach for the Nighthawks, Paul Rush, told me early before the game that they're a very young team. You know, they didn't necessarily expect to have some really good players transfer out after last season, and so they had to make adjustments and bring in some fresh faces, fresh legs. But again, doing that, they don't know the system, and as he said, they're young.
Yeah, and when they're young, they commit a lot of turnovers. It's really hard to have a lot of trust in your fellow players when you're so young and when it's their first real year together. And the stat really from the first half was the points off turnovers. Western scored 16 points off Northwest Nazarene turnovers. The Nighthawks only scored 5 off of Western turnovers. And so it's just those bad passes that lead to transition points that can get you in holes quickly. And as we've now, 21-point hole, Northwest Nazarene is going to really have to clean up their play style in order to crawl back in the second half here.
Ball out of bounds. Last touch by the Nighthawks. First few seconds ticking away here in the second half. Inside Carver Gym on WECU Court. Sean Wally alongside Ben Bagley, our entire Vikings TV crew here with you. Sion Rojas in the corner in front of his own bench. 12 to shoot. Finds Jalen Green going down low for the 7-footer. Schilder looking for Minnis, but thrown away out of bounds. Schilder and Minnis thought it was touched by the Nighthawks, but the officials do not agree. Sam Roth, top of the key for the Nighthawks. Hands off to Bazant. Bazant guarded by Minnis. Outside Roth for 3. That's a good way for the Nighthawks to start. 46-28 Vikings.
And Sam Roth, that's a rare make for him, shooting just about 16% from 3. He felt confident on that one and scored the first points of the second half.
Green outside. And another Viking turnover. Not how Western Washington wants to start the second half.
And yeah, but that turnover was kind of a little bit moot because Sion Rojas had a nice cut. Logan Schilder found him and just went off Sion's hands. It was good in theory, but just one of those that right off the hands.
Going around Schilder, and Schilder is going to be committing the foul. Basket is good. Foul on Logan. Heading to the line for the potential three-point play is Adalberto Diaz, as you see the shot off glass.
And Logan really did his best to make that shot difficult. He did make it quite difficult, in fact, but Adalberto Diaz extending with that right arm, flicking that ball up there and converting the layup.
Diaz misses the free throw. Rojas the rebound. Jalen Green running the lane, lays it up and in. The nice entry pass from Schilder. It's 48-30.
Yeah, it's quite a big advantage when your big man can have that kind of court vision, the no-look pass, setting up the easy basket.
Sam Roth, top of the key to Diaz. Looking inside, ball knocked away by Green and Schilder. Green comes away with it.
And that's just not an entry pass he should have made. No room to get that shot in there.
TJ wide open in the corner for three, 51-30. Jasinski has 9 on the night. Bazant the miss, off front iron. Back comes Jasinski. Jasinski going hard to the lane, finds who else? Mount Schilder, spins, lays it up and in, 53-30 Vikings.
And Mount Schilder really is the nickname. That makes a lot of sense. He's just so much taller than everybody else. He can get that shot off so easily.
D'Angelo Menace directly in front of our courtside broadcast position, directing traffic, finds Schilder. To Rojas, left-hand dribble in the lane, going up strong. Shot won't fall. Ball out of bounds, last touched by Rojas.
And Sion and Logan in there. Those are two of the tallest players on the court now, and that is a guard and center combination for Western. So when Sion went up with that shot, he actually got his own rebound, and it ended up bouncing out of his hands. But since he's so much taller than even the centers and forwards for the Nighthawks, it's really easy to grab these extra second chance rebounds. Excuse me.
Diaz outside to Spider. Spider picks up his dribble. Diaz in the lane from the right elbow. Jumper fading away is good. 53-32 Vikings.
That's now 2 in a row for Adalberto Diaz. The first one was over Logan Schilder. This one over Trevor Jasinski. 4 quick points for him in the second half.
Jalen Green finds Jasinski. Jasinski cross court to Schilder for 3. Good rotation, and the 7-footer hits the triple.
Schilder makes that shot look easy, shooting 48% from 3 on the year.
Diaz looking to answer, off iron. Rojas the rebounds. Rojas looking for Schilder, too strong on the pass. Head coach Tony Dominguez telling Rojas to slow down.
Yeah, Sion Rojas and Logan Schilder early in the second half have each had a couple of turnovers that haven't really been. It's not because of their lack of awareness. It's just that they've been trying to do a little bit too much of a flashy play or too much of a flashy pass. When you're up by 24, you don't need to make that extra fancy pass. Just make the one that makes sense and keep growing the lead.
D'Angelo Menace hit with the foul for the Vikings. Cam Rutherford will be checking into the game after the timeout. 15:58 remaining. Second half. Vikings 56, Nighthawks 32. As you take a look at Schilder, the spin in the lane, and the buckets here on Vikings TV.
The American dream to me as an immigrant means having the opportunities that my parents didn't have. Being the first one in my family to graduate, it meant everything my parents sacrificed for me to get to this point. It was paying off.
Estoy muy orgulloso de Michael por haberse graduado de colegio.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not had a scholarship. It would just relieved a lot of the financial burden.
Back inside Carver Gym on the campus of Western Washington University. Sean Wally alongside Ben Bagley and our entire Vikings TV crew. 15:58 left, second half. In this GNAC battle, Vikings 56, Nighthawks 32.
Yeah, and the Nighthawks in the second half are doing a good job early keeping it close score-wise. And they've scored 7 points in this half. Western scored 10. At this point in the first half, Northwest Nazarene is already down by about 15. So doing a much better job of keeping it close here early in the second half.
Long three on the way by Alley. Off the right side of the rim. Into the hands of Jalen Green. Menace cross court. He gets it back. Ball loose. Sion Rojas dives for it. And now a foul will be called on Rojas.
That's actually pretty unfortunate for the Nighthawks. It looked like they had an easy fast break opportunity, but a foul back at midcourt by Sion Rojas will bring the ball back to about midcourt. Here's a look at the foul as you see Sion dive right into the legs. The pass was ahead to Ezekiel Alley, but the foul called back at midcourt. Unlucky break there for the Nighthawks. Sion Rojas actually subbed out of the game there. Looks like he might have had a little bit of an injury. RJ Seacrest in for him.
Ball just gifted right to Green to Seacrest. Back to TJ, who loses it. Out of bounds. It'll go back to the Nighthawks.
And once again, it just looks like Western's trying to do a little bit too much. A bit of a backwards bounce pass from RJ Seacrest there to Trevor Jasinski, who looked like maybe he wasn't expecting it or it went off of his knee. Western just needs to settle in, realize they have a lead. They don't need to do anything flashy, and just play conservative rather than these 4 or 5 turnovers that started off the second half with.
Alley attacking the rack. TJ might have got a little tip of that basketball. Back come the Vikings. Rojas to Jasinski. Jasinski showing his handles to Rojas, and a foul is called on the Nighthawks.
And Trevor Jasinski there, right as I said, maybe stop with the flashy, pulls off an ankle breaker and a no-look pass. He's still trying to amp up this Western team. Pedal to the metal, not letting up at all from Trevor.
Get a look at the Western bench and head coach Tony Dominguez. 56-32 Viking lead, 14:52 remaining, as Rojas will inbound in front of his own bench. Seacrest to Jalen Green. Green baseline. The jumper is good. 58-32 Vikings.
And that's an area of improvement that we have seen with Jalen Green this season. Those driving shots, those pull-ups, especially his mid-range and his ISO game. He's really done a great job of converting difficult shots that he wasn't really able to convert last year. He's had a great increase in his production this year, and it's really helped this team quite a bit.
Foul called on the floor on the Vikings. That'll be on Jalen Green. Wright and Diaz return for the Nighthawks. Bazant loses the basketball. Apparently last touch by the Vikings. Jasinski doesn't agree. Head coach Tony Dominguez telling his team to focus with 14-13 left.
Yeah, Cam Rutherford here on defense has been being stretched out a little bit. He's playing near the three-point line. He's most comfortable playing defense under the basket.
Bazant misses the three. Fox has it. Swings it outside to Wright, who misses the long three. Back come the Vikings. Head coach Dominguez setting the offense. Rutherford top of the key to Seacrest. Seven to shoot. Cam Rutherford in the lane. Spins in the lane. Gets it to fall. No foul called. It's 60-32 Vikings.
Cam Rutherford is a big body, and he is skilled. He has a nice, sweet touch when he's up there near the rim. Nice, easy lay-in right there. Oh, man.
With the rejection by Jalen Green. Get out of my house. Jasinski loses the basketball. Ball loose on the floor. Bodies everywhere on WECU Court.
Yeah, and there's another area of improvement from Jalen Green in his sophomore season. How about athleticism, getting up, blocking that shot at its apex. Here we see it. No way, says Jalen Green. And Vikings, they lead now by their largest of the game, 28.
Green leading all scorers with 15 on the night, and that monster block.
And with that block, Jalen Green now on the year actually has more blocks than Logan Schilder.
That's impressive, because Schilder averages 2 a game.
Schilder has 20. Jalen Green now 21.
Minnis back in the game for the Vikings to Rutherford. Minnis gets it back for 3. Good rotation, but it pops out.
That's a shot that D'Angelo Minnis will take every time, very confident in his ability to shoot the 3 ball.
Foul on D'Angelo Minnis. That is his 3rd 6th team foul. Seacrest and Anderson return for the Vikings. Minnis and Jasinski take a seat for Western Washington.
It's a very small lineup in the game for Western right now. Jalen Green is the 2nd tallest defensive player, and he usually plays about the shooting guard position. Now he's playing more of a power forward position.
3 is good by Zach Ferguson. It's 60-35 Vikings. Seacrest looking for Rutherford. Double teamed. Ball almost stolen. Rojas has it. Rojas attacks the rack. Bumped, fouled, and bucket won't fall, but Rojas will head to the line.
And nice strong take there by Sion Rojas. Getting up, not afraid to bump into the defender. Almost had that soft touch at the end. It was just a bit too much power right at the end of that layup. He'll head to the line for 2.
Ben, we have good news to report from Concordia. The Western Washington women's basketball team absolutely dominated tonight. 88-41 over Concordia. The Vikings win down in Portland. 23 assists, 12 3-pointers, 30 rebounds for the Vikings. Emma Duff led the way with 12 points. Gracie Castaneda, 11, and Lexi Bland with 10.
Another great Western team. That Western women's team, really fun to watch. They're off to a great start this year as well.
11:55 left here in Bellingham. Ball stolen by who else? Jalen Green. Green ahead to Seacrest. Cam Rutherford top of the key for 3. Too strong. Rebound to Murphy. Bazant saves it.
Almost another turnover.
Bazant off the screen in the lane, loses the handle. Green snags it.
And there was another turnover.
Rojas to Green. Green hands off to Rutherford. He's got his shot rejected.
Rutherford was looking for the dunk there. Looked like he had to double clutch it. Couldn't end up getting it off. No points in that possession for the Vikings.
Jaden Bazant is fouled. Leif Anderson hit with the foul for the Vikings. 11 remaining, 62-35. Western Washington in command. As you take a look at Jalen Green saying, "Get out of my house" on Vikings TV.
We can stop to make sure someone is okay. Get in the way and disrupt the situation.
Notify an authority.
Or walk them home safely.
We can change the language around rape.
We can make campuses safer for our teammates, our friends, and our classmates.
We cannot be bystanders.
Taking action isn't always easy, but it's on us
to intervene.
Because we can.
Learn more and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
Back here in Bellingham, Washington. Fans in the stands seeing themselves up on the big video board. I always wonder, do they know they're also on Vikings TV at the same time?
If they don't, they should. Pretty much internet famous at this point, right?
All smiles on this Saturday night, 62-35 Vikings. Sean Wally alongside Ben Bagley and our entire Vikings TV crew as Jaden Bazant heads to the free throw line for the Nighthawks. Free throw missed. Rojas the rebound, and he wants to run.
Rojas always goes so fast in transition. He always likes to look for that fast break opportunity.
Rutherford from the free throw line doesn't get it to go, but there's Rojas with the tip in. 64-35. Rojas has 13 on the night.
And this lead just keeps growing and growing for the Vikings. They average about 11-point point differential on the season, Right now they're up at 29.
Jalen Green to the bench for the Vikings. Jasinski returns. Let's take a look at the foul. The reach in by Rojas. Diaz free throw, rims out. Battle for the basketball. Spider has it.
And free throws have been a struggle here for the Nighthawks, shooting under 20% in this game as a team.
Ball loose. Rojas comes away with it. Finds TJ, swings it to Anderson for three. That easy. 67-35 Vikings.
It almost seems like every single player on this Western team can shoot the three with no problem at all. Leif Anderson there, knocking it down.
10-10 remaining here in Bellingham. Fox outside to Diaz. Finds Alley. The jumper from the left elbow is good. It's a 30-point game halfway through half number 2.
A 30-point game, and 7 different players on the Vikings now have hit a three. Not just a basket, but a three-pointer.
Seacrest swings it to Rojas. Feeling it from three. It's short. Rebound to Fox. Fox has it poked away. Cam Rutherford cannot track it down. It's out of bounds. Last touched by the Vikings. Rojas will check out. D'Angelo Minnis back in the game, as well as Zach Ferguson returning for the Nighthawks.
And this might be the first time in the game that on the floor, the Nighthawks actually appear to almost have a height advantage over the Vikings. Vikings start players like Trevor Jasinski and Sion Rojas and Jalen Green, who are so tall and lanky. Some of their shortest players here in D'Angelo Minnis and Leif Anderson are playing on the floor right now.
Fox swings it around to Roth. His three is short. Rebound to Seacrest. Seacrest to Rutherford, top of the key. To TJ, rising for three. He is fouled. Shot won't go, but he will get 3 free throws as Alley called for the foul.
And up by 30 points here. The last 3 field goal attempts from Western have all been three-pointers. So they're certainly not afraid to keep trying to push that envelope, keep shooting the three ball. They're not playing it conservative at all here and down the stretch.
Jasinski misses the first of 3 free throws. Trevor has 9 points on the evening. He had 20 in the win on Thursday night. Join me post-game. Nice interview with Trevor. As Inigunberg and Logan Schilder return for the Vikings, Rutherford and Seacrest to the bench. Trevor out of Camas, Washington, just across the border from Portland, Oregon. Lane violation on the Nighthawks, so Trevor will get another free throw.
We talked all night about how well Western shoots that three-point ball. Everybody on the floor right now, except for Tucker Gunberg, shoots that three ball at over 35%. And Tucker only is below 35% because he hasn't had enough shots because of injury. He usually shoots at about 42. So 5 great three-point shooters on the floor right now for Western. I think I can predict what kind of shot they're going to take on their next possession.
Not that they need them. Up 31.
You can never have too many points, right?
Bazant going baseline. Outside to Felix White. Off left iron. Rebound to Inigunberg. TJ with it now. Flips it to Minnis. Leif Anderson. Logan Schilder. Minnis to Schilder for 3. You called it, man.
What do we see there?
Probably the most unlikely guy to shoot it.
The most unlikely guy to shoot it, but we've actually seen that quite a bit this season. Minnis likes to drive, and as he draws that other bigger defender, Logan Schilder just stands at the top of the key, totally unguarded. Minnis turns around with the dish. Logan sinks it again.
71-37, the Viking bench wanted to travel. They don't get it. Schilder cannot handle the basketball. It's out of bounds. It will be Nighthawk basketball. After the timeout, we have 8:02 left here in the second half. 71-37 Western Washington. So you see the Nighthawk bench. And a look at Schilder knocking down the 3 on Vikings TV.
My path to a college degree would have been completely different had I not run Division II cross country for the University of Mount Olive. Having an athletic and academic scholarship was key for my success. Our coaches were really helpful with balancing out my academics and athletics. I decided to attend graduate school because I wanted to become an athletic director. Receiving the postgraduate scholarship through the NCAA provided me with the flexibility to choose the school that I wanted. So now I know that I can accomplish any goal that I set for myself.
Back here in Bellingham, Washington. Sean Wally alongside Ben Bagley and our entire Vikings TV crew. Thanks for joining us on this Saturday evening where the Vikings are doing some damage to the Nighthawks. 71-37, 8 minutes left.
And they're doing some damage there, not letting up at all. Still firing three-pointers as much as they can, playing smothering defense, blocks, steals. It's been the story of this entire game, just complete domination by the Vikings.
Western Washington 2-1 in conference play, on their way to 3-1, unless something crazy happens in the next 8 minutes. Felix White. Hands off to Alley. Roth has it now. Bazant. And a foul is called on the Vikings, on Tuck Gunberg. .7:51 remaining. Timeout on the floor. It's 71-37 Western Washington. Interesting. Look at Ben, the foul disparity. 9 for the Vikings, just 3 for the Nighthawks this half.
Yeah, and the Vikings just do a very good job. It's difficult because they don't always necessarily need to drive to get fouls. The Nighthawks, when they're gathering their fouls, it's often when they're trying to go in on Logan and there's a bump or something and they get a foul shooting a layup. The Vikings have been drawing a lot of fouls, more loose ball fouls, more shots on the three-point line. It might be just due to lack of discipline from the Nighthawks, or the Western bench might just be Western on the floor. I was looking at the Western bench when I said that. The Western players might just be very, very good at making that extra move to draw contact. Whatever it is, the youth of the Nighthawks fouled 9 times in the second half, digging themselves deeper in a hole. 8 minutes left here. Do we call it a comeback?
Not unless there's a few 10-point shots somewhere on the court.
At this point in the game, it's very crucial for a young team like Northwest Nazarene to learn how to deal with adversity. When they're at the point where a comeback looks out of reach, it's very, very important to learn, especially as a young player, whether to just give up or whether to continue how to battle. Because sometimes when you're down 12 with 2 minutes left, if you have the mindset of I'm going to battle and I'm going to fight and I'm going to try and win this thing, which is we learn that mindset when you're in situations like this, down big, then you can end up winning the game in that scenario. So it's very important here for especially the coaching staff and the players of Northwest Nazarene to keep battling, keep trying to execute their offense, and keep trying to succeed in the rest of this game.
Ball tapped out of bounds by the Nighthawks. Viking basketball. Tuck Gunberg will inbound as Trevor Jasinski takes a seat. Bryce Knox into the game for Western Washington. 5 to shoot. Minnis attacks the rack. Left side of the iron, but there's Jalen Green to tap it up and in. 73-37. Green has 17 on the night.
And Green has just really shown us athleticism. He had that great block, that great putback right there. He's had pull-up jumpers. He's had athletic shots all night, really showing off his improved skill set in this game.
Stolen away by the Vikings inside 7 minutes. Shot clock has not been reset. And the Viking bench made the officials aware of it. Or maybe the officials heard me. Probably not. But
Maybe.
Take a little credit. Why not?
Always the fun part about sports. In any dimension of the game, there's always some little element of human in it, right? Whether it's a missed shot clock or whether it's a call somebody doesn't agree with, or whether it's a missed shot. No matter what you want to, which way you want to slice it with sports, there's always a little element of human in it, and that's what makes it fun.
Green inbounds to Knox. Bryce Knox, right-hand dribble. Finds Inigunberg. Inigunberg, the fadeaway baseline, off iron. Rebound to Roth. Diaz, the jumper, rims out. He falls down, no foul called. Inigunberg on the run. He's got numbers, skips it. Too many Vikings in the same area, Schilder and Minnis. Neither of them came away with the basketball out of bounds. Apparently last touch by the Vikings.
And it just looks like with every turnover and with every missed shot, it's a little bit disheartening to these Nighthawks. And completely understandable, being down big, it's hard to continue to find that will to fight. But once again, it's important to learn how to face adversity in sports. When you're playing against a team that's better than you, that's more experienced than you, that maybe has better cohesion, they've played together longer. And they're difficult to beat. But in these situations of being down, the most important thing to do as an athlete is to learn how to fight through losing or how to fight through being down. And that mental toughness is really what ends up winning games when players grow up and as they mold together as a team over the years.
Foul on the floor on the Vikings. D'Angelo Minnis checks out for Western Washington. Rojas back in. They are officials taking a look at the last foul. As head coach Tony Dominguez just said, he got blindsided on a screen. That's all it was.
They may be looking at some kind of flagrant here. Maybe a little bit too much oomph was put onto the screen. The refs might see it as a flagrant.
It's been a good weekend of Viking basketball. Looking like 2 wins for the hometown Vikings.
Yeah, absolutely. And headed in, so the new quarter here at Western Washington is set to start on Tuesday. It means all the students will be back, class will be back in session, and as we head in to the month of January and into February, as Western has some more home games, January 16th, January 18th, February 6th, February 8th. Students will be in town. Bellingham will be hopping, looking to watch this Western men's basketball team continue their early run of success. I'm most looking forward to that game in late February against Simon Fraser, February 25th. I think it's going to be a showdown of 2 of the top GNAC teams. I think it might go a long way in deciding this conference. So I'm pretty excited to watch this Western basketball team grow. And as we go into the new year, hopefully some more success for these Vikings.
Well, the Vikings owe the Clan one after narrowly losing up in Simon Fraser in December.
And that was a close game. They dropped that game 77-74, and actually the women also went up and played in Simon Fraser, and I'm pretty sure they also lost 77-74, so becoming a bit of a rivalry between Bellingham and their Canadian neighbors, Simon Fraser.
Inside 6 minutes left here in Bellingham. Sion Rojas between the leg dribble. Rojas finds Knox. Knox into the lane. The floater is short. Offensive foul called on Bryce Knox.
And call that a floater short, but Logan Schilder almost called that a alley-oop pass. There's a foul called, so obviously the play stopped, but Logan looked ready to grab that one and slammed it himself.
73-39. Your eyes are not deceiving you. Vikings in command. Viking bench wanted to travel there on Bazant. They don't get it. Roth for three. It's good.
There you go. That was a good possession there by the Nighthawks. A couple of extra passes. There's a corner three, not really open. There was a three on the right side of the key, not really open. Extra pass, found the open three, made with ease.
Nice touch pass to Rojas from Schilder. Rojas lays it up and in. 75-42. Rojas with 15 on the night.
Showing off his athleticism there.
Ferguson, his three rims out. Rojas the rebound. Cross court to Knox. Knox for three. Nothing but net. 78-42 Vikings.
Bryce Knox now the 8th player in this game to make a three for Western Washington. Everybody's getting in on the action.
Bazant ran into Mount Schilder. Kicks it outside. The three is short. Battle for the basketball. Vikings can't get it. Roth has it outside to. That is Bazant for three. 78-45 Vikings, 4:25 and counting.
So there's a little bit of the mental toughness that I was talking about for these Nighthawks. 3 3-pointers made in the 3 of the last 4 possessions. Almost another one right there, but they're just showing the mental toughness of not giving up, continuing to try and execute their offense, and that will truly go a long way for them over the course of an entire season.
Schilder and Green to the bench for the Vikings. Rutherford and Seacrest back into the game. Left-hander by Reedy. Reedy does not go. Rojas to Cam. Cam in the lane. Lays it up and in. It's 80-45.
Sion Rojas was just pointing to the scores table saying, that's an assist, make sure that's an assist. The Vikings are certainly having their fun out there tonight.
Bazant, hard charge into the lane, goes high off the window, 80-47 Vikings. Knox to Inigunberg. Skips it to Cam, and he is bumped and fouled. Foul will be called on Sam Roth of the Nighthawks. Timeout on the floor, 3 minutes, 30 seconds remaining here in the second half. Vikings 80, Nighthawks 47 on Vikings TV.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division II, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
Back here in Bellingham, as you take a look at some of the great action the Vikings have had for you here this evening. Logan Schilder can do it inside the paint and outside the arc. The 7-footer. Yet another three.
Yet another three, and at this point, all you can do is shrug and say, well, I guess that's what he does. Blocking shots, making dunks. Mid-range is great, and that 3-point shot of Logan Schilder is so often the killer for defenses trying to figure out a way to stop this Western attack.
3:30 left here in Bellingham. Cam Rutherford with it. Green on the block, finds Cam, attacking the rack. Lays it up and in, 82-47 Vikings. Collision between Reedy and Inigunberg. Foul will be called on Tuck. That is his third.
Definitely a foul there on Tucker and Gunberg, but it looked like if maybe he would have set his feet a little bit more and he would have definitely taken a charge there as Reedy came off of that screen. Instead, walking foul, Reedy goes to the line. Reedy misses them both, and he's shooting well under 50% from free throw on the year. That's very uncharacteristic of a leading scorer of any team. However, he leads the Nighthawks in scoring with almost 15 a game and just about 45% from the free throw line this year.
George Reedy, a local product out of Edmonds, Washington, a redshirt freshman. Nice drive, left side of the lane. Ezekiel Alley with the bucket. It's 82-49 Vikings, and Inigunberg is fouled by Spider Adetunji. Ben, is it just me, or does Spider look smaller than he did in March? I thought he was gigantic during the GNAC tournament.
He certainly might have looked that way, but it's hard for anybody to look big against this Western team. They're full of guys who are tall, who are muscular. This Western team, it's hard to overstate how athletic these guys are. So Spider, I'm sure if you stood next to him, he'd look pretty tall. But standing next to guys like Cam and Logan, it's hard for anybody to look that big.
Alley called for the foul. Vikings will inbound directly in front of us here, courtside at WECU Court. Tuck Inigunberg to do the honors. Gets it into Seacrest. Seacrest goes up strong. Shot won't go. He is fouled. The Viking bench thrilled that freshman Ivan Bullock about to check in for the Vikings. A team and fan favorite is Bullock.
He most certainly is. Once Bullock checks in, watch for this entire court to just erupt with cheers. And once he makes a shot, it'll be the loudest applause we've heard all game. Bullock, the freshman walk-on.
Rutherford to the bench for Bullock. Bullock out of Orcas Island, Washington. It's 84-49 Vikings. Bullock on defense. Going to get called with a late foul. No, it's Inigunberg hit with the foul. That's 4 on Tuck. More fouls and points tonight for Inigunberg.
And this is Reedy's to the line. He's 0 for 4 from the line tonight.
Reedy hits the free throw. Bryce Knox returns for the Vikings. Jalen Green checks out. Probably his curtain call for the night. Up by 34.
Yeah, but what a game Jalen Green put together. 17 points, 2 assists, 7 rebounds, 3 steals, and don't forget about that thunderous block he had earlier in this one.
Seacrest running the floor. Look at the handles.
Yeah. Really nice escape action there from RJ Seacrest.
Bullock has his 3 rejected by Diaz. What hang time by Adalberto Diaz.
That was a great block by Diaz. If if Bullock would have given a little pump fake, Diaz would have been flying off the court, and Bullock would have had an open shot. But as it was, great block by Diaz.
Inigunberg trapped in the corner, nowhere to go. 4 to shoot for the Vikings. Knox has it. Tries to find Bullock. Bullock doesn't see the shot clock, and that is a turnover to the Nighthawks.
Difficult situation there for Bullock. When you get the ball past you at a weird angle with 1 second left in the shot clock, it's hard to do anything. But with a 34-point lead, it's hard to go wrong.
Putback is good by Gabriel Murphy, 84-53.
And it's
1:40 left.
And it's interesting here, all guards on the court for the Vikings.
Inigunberg misses the 3. Bullock can't get their turnaround to go. Viking bench wanted a foul, didn't get it. Reedy attacking the rack, too strong. But there, for the putback, is Murphy yet again. Back-to-back buckets for Murphy.
And with 5 guards in the court, I'm going to go out on a limb, make another prediction. So they might be looking for another 3-pointer here. Watch Ivan Bullock in the corner.
Seacrest using clock. Finds Anderson. Anderson the jumper. Off iron. Bullock the rebound. Goes up strong. It's rejected by Murphy. Murphy has it. Final 51 seconds here in Bellingham.
Unfortunate for Bullock, blocked on his first 2 shot attempts. As Ezekiel Alley puts that one in on the other end. Just 45 seconds to play here.
Inigunberg. Eager to kill clock. 16 to shoot. Anderson to Bryce Knox. Knox gets it back from Bullock. 3 to shoot. Bullock for 3. Rims out. The entire bench was up already. Alley in the lane lays it up and in with 11.3 remaining. It's 84-59 Vikings.
And as this game winds out, great show by the Vikings offensively. That 3-point barrage, too much for the Nighthawks to handle. All the steals, all the blocks. Western was active on defense. And with that one, their 8th win of the season comes in an impressive fashion. Western 84, Nighthawks 59.
The Vikings improved to 8-4 on the season, 3-1 in conference play. Northwest Nazarene falls to 4-5 overall and 1-3 in conference.
All around, what a great game by Western, can we say? 3-point shots well, in transition well, didn't turn the ball over, rebounded well. Overall, a great building block game for these Vikings. 2-0 in their last 2 home games, beat Central, now beat Northwest Nazarene. Not back home until January 16th against Concordia and January 18th against Western Oregon, but plenty to go off of right here.
As we get set here post-game to be joined by head coach Tony Dominguez of Western Washington University. Tony, another great win tonight. Back-to-back victories here in the GNAC. Big win over a team that was really good last year.
They're good this year. They beat Simon. Simon, I think, was at the top of the league, and they're very good. I loved our energy. I loved our defense. I think that obviously spurs us on. I think that's what's been happening the last month or so. We've been playing a lot better defense.
At what point do you know that your team is firing on all cylinders and doing what you want them to do?
Well, we're just trying to get in a rhythm, right? We're trying to do the benchmarks. We're trying to deny the 3. We're trying to rebound them. We're trying to make it very difficult for them to get easy shots. And the last 2 or 3 games, we've done a really good job of that. As far as clicking on offense, there's times we got up 20. Guys are real excited. We've got a lot of talent. They want to showcase it. The problem is we just need to settle down at certain times. But I felt, you can kind of see how they were clicking.
Balanced scoring tonight. You have 5 guys in double figures led by Jalen Green with 17.
Yeah, it can be anybody in any given night. Obviously, Trevor's a focal point. They're double teaming him a lot, and I didn't play him a lot because of the score at the end of the game. But, pretty much anybody can have a big night for us, and it's nice to see that.
How do you bottle this momentum and take it on the road with you next weekend?
Do the best we can. We're going to hit practice. We're going to keep working on all these benchmarks and just see how it goes. Playing on the road is tough. Playing in Alaska is tough, but I really enjoy these guys, and they're working as hard as they can, so we'll see what happens.
Great win tonight. 2 in a row for you, and now you'll head off to Alaska. Good luck next week.
All right, appreciate it.
Tony Dominguez joining us here as the Vikings win 84-59 as we get set to welcome in the leading point scorer, Jalen Green, 17 on the evening. The pride of Renton, Washington, set to join us here courtside on WECU Court. And there is the man of the night, Jalen Green, 17 on the night. Great job tonight. So you guys have back-to-back home wins here on WECU Court. Good GNAC wins. How do you now take this momentum on the road?
We're just going to look to do what we do in our game plan and play our defense and just, be confident on the road, play our games.
You shot 6 of 7. At what point do you know when your shot is on?
I think it's just kind of the work you put in. If you don't work out, it's not going to be on. If you do, it's going to be on.
What does Coach tell you when you guys are up 20, up 30? How do you keep that momentum going to keep attacking the team?
I think it's just kind of we love playing basketball. So as long as you're in the game, you're going to try your best to play your best.
What do you think is the best part of your game?
I like the way I play defense.
Very nice. Defense, some say, wins championships, right?
Yes, sir.
So you see some of the great offense you've had here this evening, but you also had that monster block down there. What did you see there when that guy was attacking the rack and you said not tonight?
He was coming down the left side of the court, and he jumped, and I jumped higher.
It was awesome because that ball reflected off your hand, off the rim, and it started to break.
Sir.
Now you guys are off to Alaska. Where do you balance having a little fun when you go on the road, but it's all business too?
I think the thing that really keeps us all business is our schoolwork on the road, because we're still required to do all that. And so that keeps us focused, and then going into the games, it just helps.
So you don't have much time to have a lot of fun or do anything other than school and basketball?
I mean, I'm going to have my fun.
Okay.
But
17 points on the night. Jalen Green, the pride of Renton, Washington. Great job tonight. Thanks for joining us here on Vikings TV.
Yes, sir.
Vikings win it 84-59. They improve on the season in the GNAC. They are now 3-1 in conference, 8-4 overall on the season, and they play next on the 9th and the 11th up in Alaska, Alaska Anchorage and Alaska Fairbanks. Vikings return home 116 against Concordia, 118 against Western Oregon. Final stats on the night: Vikings shot 54.7%, 76.5 from free throws. And look at that, 12 steals, turnovers, even 16 turnovers, too much for the Vikings, but that was a non-factor as they won wire to wire, 84-59 over the Nighthawks. For Ben Bagley and everyone here at Vikings TV, I'm Sean Wally. Good night from Bellingham.